Welcome to the LDS Mental Health Podcast. This is a podcast for faithful women who want healing in their relationships, guidance from God, and internal peace. Each week, you'll hear mental health concepts taught through a spiritual lens from me, a licensed clinical mental health counselor, to help you start thinking in a higher and holier way. Welcome. On this episode, we will be discussing fortifying your mental health for future challenges. I think you will agree with me that living in a fallen world, there's really no shortage of challenges, right? It doesn't seem like anyone will be exempt from the challenges of the future either. Actually, we know that's true because it's part of the plan of salvation. This part of the plan we are experiencing is the testing and proving time. We are experiencing opposition internally and externally. That's not going to stop while we're on this earth either. That means you might have demands placed on you that could exceed your resources and coping abilities, and your mental health might be impacted. So this month, I'm focusing on the theme of self-care. You can get yourself so that you can get yourself in a healthy place for when those challenges come. But today, I want to focus on 4 ways that you can fortify your mental health for those future challenges that are inevitably coming your way, right? Working on your mental health not only affects how we think, feel, and act, it also helps determine how we handle stress, relate to others, and make healthy choices. The truth is, you can work on your mental health and not have a mental health diagnosis. Mental health really is this continuum, which can be different from one person to the next. It really can have different degrees of difficulty and distress depending on the person. You can experience periods of healthy mental wellness and at other times really struggle. That's why it's important to work on your mental health even when you're doing well. So let's dive into the first way that you can fortify your mental health for future challenges. And that's to develop and bring clarity to your thoughts. When life gets stressful or you encounter an overwhelming situation, you might start experiencing what I call mind clutter. Mind clutter can show up differently for people. Some experience it as racing thoughts that might make focusing difficult. Some may experience mind clutter as foggy thoughts that you feel like you just can't get a grasp on, while others may experience mind clutter as blank thoughts or no thoughts at all. All of these different ways you might experience mind clutter make dealing with life stressors even more difficult. It can feel very unpeaceful at times. When you're feeling that type of unrest with your unpeaceful mind clutter, making decisions, communicating, understanding, or focusing can feel nearly impossible. There are tools that can help you quiet down that mind clutter and bring clarity to your thoughts so that they can slow down their thoughts and become more in focus. What would it be like next time you experience a stressful or overwhelming event and you're able to utilize tools that bring clarity to your thoughts? How would you think, feel, or act differently? How would that affect that continuation of stress in your life after that challenge? Investing your time now in learning tools to bring clarity to your thoughts in the future will bring you so much peace. So this is one block of fortifying your mental health for future challenges. Another block of that fortification is learning how to receive divine help with your daily life situations. What I notice with the women I work with is that they're asking for divine help with these big situations and stressors, but not the day-to-day help. I often hear, quote unquote, I don't want to bother God with that, or quote unquote, I don't want to take God's help away from someone else to help me with that. First of all, both of those statements are limiting God's power. God is not bothered or drained when we ask for help, no matter how small or big. Each week when you partake of the sacrament, you are asked to, quote unquote, remember Him always. That doesn't mean you just think of Him. That means you utilize the resources He has for you. Christ's atonement isn't just a redeeming power. It's an enabling power. He atoned for something you experience, and he wants to help you. Big or small, he wants to help you. When you ask for Christ's help with the small things in your day, you not only build trust with him for the bigger things in your life, you also become more productive and can be enabled to do things energetically that you can't do on your own. Learning how to develop the skill of asking for divine help in your day will significantly help when you encounter future challenges. Think about being able to do more than you could do on your own in the midst of a trial. What would that be like for your mental health? Learning to rely on the Lord now in the small things will significantly change how your mental health is affected in future challenges. Another way to significantly change how your mental health is affected in future challenges is to learn to communicate your needs and desires. The first part of that is knowing what your needs and desires truly are, and then being able to communicate those to other people. When you're going through a stressful time or challenge, your ability to communicate is decreased. If you haven't practiced connecting with others through expressing your needs and desires, your relationships will be affected. Relationships can be a great resource in challenging situations, but not if you can't communicate what you need. This sometimes leads to resentments, frustration, and isolation. Learning the skills to understand what your needs and desires are, and then how to communicate them to others in healthy ways, will help you connect and improve your relationships. Spend time really pondering what you need in situations. Then practice communicating that to others. This work will pay off when those stressful times come. One other thing that will pay off for you when stressful times come kind of ties into the last one, and that is to learn to process your emotions. Many women I work with are very good at stuffing emotions down, not feeling them or even passing through them. This creates a volcano effect of pressure, and those emotions come out in ways you don't want them to, and during times you don't want them to. Imagine not processing emotions and then something stressful happens and now your mind and body are making you experience them in ways you don't want to. You might find yourself more irritated, often overwhelmed easily, and shutting down and not taking care of yourself, or numbing those emotions out in ways that really aren't healthy. The first thing that goes out the window when you experience pressure release of emotions is your self-care. You stop caring for yourself and your needs, which means you are now an empty vessel trying to pour into others without pouring into yourself. Learning the skill to process your emotions as they come up can create healing so that you aren't dealing with these emotions for future challenges. This will also free you up to start better self-care routines that pay off when you are encountering a challenging situation in the future. All right, we just covered 4 ways to fortify your mental health for future challenges. To learn skills that create clarity in your thoughts, asking for divine help, communicating your needs, and processing your emotions. Now, you might be asking yourself, okay, this is great, Nikki, but where do I learn those kinds of skills? Well, one way is to go to therapy or to take some courses or coaching that teach those skills. Now, I know that isn't necessarily for everyone, or their time and resources may not allow for that. So I decided to come up with something that would help you learn these skills without buying a course or having a weekly appointments. I created the LDS Mental Health Skills Deck. This is a deck of 52 skill cards that help you strengthen and fortify your mental health through a gospel lens, so that you can have clarity in your thoughts for more peace and cope with life's stresses. Also, so you can receive that divine help to increase your energy and work more productively. And communicate your needs and desires so you can connect and improve relationships. And finally, to process your emotions to create healing and have better self-care. I created this deck of 52 cards as an affordable way to start your journey of learning mental health skills through a spiritual lens. They are currently available, and you can snag your set by clicking the link in my show notes so you can get started working on fortifying your mental health for future challenges. Thank you for listening to the LDS Mental Health Podcast. I hope you were able to find ways of healing, guidance, and peace. If you liked this episode, please share it with a friend who would love to start thinking in a higher and holier way as well. Or hit that follow button so you don't miss out on any episodes. Also, check out the links in my show notes for other episodes you might like. And links for other mental health resources on my website.